About 6 months ago, I got a chance to take a look at and review the Alienware R15, a nice desktop rig in terms of gaming. As far as content creation, all the kind of things you'd want to do with a desktop, that certainly fit the bill. But a lot of people were turned off by the futuristic space-looking type design, and they wanted something a little bit more slimmer, a little bit more svelte, and a little bit more understated. Well, Dell has been listening, and they have redesigned the Aurora R16. That's here for 2023, and today they're now releasing the one with the 14th gen processor. Yes, and I gotta tell you, I have the Core i9-14900KF, and I gotta tell you, the performance is out of the world. In fact, it's paired with an RTX 4090 GPU, and we're seeing some excellent performance, a lot of power packed into that design. Now, I will get into all that and more in this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Alienware Aurora R15 here for 2023. Coming up.
Now, before we get to the unit itself, I just want to let everyone know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by Dell, I'm not being sponsored by Dell. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Dell is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this unit is on loan from Dell, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Pricing for the Alienware Aurora R16 gaming desktop starts at $1299.99 over at Dell's website. Now that nets you a 13th gen processor and goes up from there. And then of course, priced today here with the configuration that Dell sent over with the brand new 14th gen processor, that one comes in at $3499.99. Now for those interested, I'll leave a link in the description below for more information and where you can buy one. The Alienware R16 represents a very new direction for Alienware's gaming desktops, moving away from the spaceship looks from the Aurora R15 and those before it for a more broader appeal of a traditional boutique-built gaming rig. Now, Dell says the Aurora R16 is quieter and has better airflow than its predecessors, despite being 40% smaller, and that is certainly welcome here. 3 Alienware FX RGB lighting zones inside the system retain Alienware's affection for science fiction. The stadium ring flanking the front panel, the Alien head power button, and the 120mm exhaust fan are configurable for different effects in the Alienware Control Center app, including wave and rainbow effects. Now, the app also allows for speed and brightness control. The zones can be turned off entirely if you want to. And I like the fact that it's not over the top when it comes to the RGB lighting. I think it's just enough to give you what you want. Now, when it comes to the ports, there's a recessed port selection in the front panel, which includes an audio combo jack, 3 5 gigabits per second USB Type-A ports, 1 10 gigabit per second USB Type-C connection. The bottom USB-A and USB-C ports can charge your devices when the tower is switched off. Rear connections are plenty here with 8 more USB ports. You got 2 USB-A, which are 5 gigabits per second, 1 10 gigabit per second USB-C, 1 20 gigabit per second USB-C, 4 USB 2.0 ports, and they both support 2 Smart Power On. Numerous audio connections, 2 digital SPDIF outputs with coaxial, surround, and the usual microphone line in and line out. There's a 2.5 gigabit per second killer E3100 Ethernet jack. For video output, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090 graphics card has 1 HDMI and 3 DisplayPort connections. The Aurora R16 side door is secured by a sliding latch. Itself is fastened by a Phillips head screw. The side door then tilts out and lifts away. The see-through panel is plastic, not tempered glass, but it still looks quite clear. Now, the Alienware's interior is pretty much laid out in a very minimalist way. It looks pretty clean. Now, the liquid-cooled model has a top-mounted 240mm radiator. You'll find just 120mm intake fan, but the 320mm exhaust fans, 2 on the radiator and 1 on the back. And the fan in the power supply ensures ample passive intake through the perforated front and side panels. I noticed that the fan noise was not very loud while gaming, directly addressing one of the complaints many had with the previous generation, so it stayed nice and quiet. That's been really good. Now, Dell does use a proprietary Intel Z690-based motherboard, has a micro ATX-like dimensions except for a top right protrusion that extends forward to feed the chassis front ports directly from the board rather than through the typical case header cables. Both its M.2 2280 SSD slots are populated in the review unit that Dell sent over, though the included drives lack heat sinks, just something you want to keep in mind. You'll also notice a 3.5-inch bay next to the 1,000-watt power supply. Alienware includes this 1,000-watt model in its RTX 4090 configurations here, and the Aurora still uses a Dell-specific power supply design, which, like the motherboard, may be a concern for future upgraders. Now, expansion slots include one PCIe Express 5.0 and two PCIe Express 3.0, but the latter two are inaccessible because of the heatsink on the graphics card, which covers them. Now, of course, Intel just announced the 14th Gen Raptor Lake processor. We have it here, the Core i9-14900KF. Now, this has 24 cores and 32 threads, and that means you're going to get very fast performance for everyday tasks, Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, everything handled really well with this. And what you're really seeing here is excellent single-core and multi-core performance. Check out that score, 3,066, probably the highest single-core score I've seen to date. And it had an excellent multi-core, although not quite as good as the Apple Mac Studio with the M2 Ultra, but very close nonetheless. But this really shows you can do pretty much anything you throw at it. Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, that goes without saying. And you can do high-end 4K video editing. We'll get to that in a moment. But really excellent performance here, there's no doubt about it, and there's no thermal throttling as it scored 99.4% on the Speedway stress test. That's an amazing result here, there's no doubt about it. And as expected, when it comes to gaming, really good results here, very playable frame rates. You really can play on the highest settings here, even 4K gaming here, of course, but I think the sweet spot would be the QHD gaming 2560 by 1440. Really everything smooth, very fluid. Now, in addition to being an excellent gaming rig, this is also great for content creation and say things like Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. So when I did a 3-minute H.264 render, 4K render in DaVinci Resolve, it did 1 minute 26 seconds to do that render. Now look at the Apple Mac Studio with the M1 Max, it did 1 minute 57 seconds to render that same video. So much better result here on the Aurora R16. And when I tried a different codec, H.265, it did 1 minute 24 seconds to render that video. Another excellent result. Not only did it stay pretty quiet for the most part, it also stayed relatively cool as measured by the surface temperatures here, never getting overly hot. So very good in terms of the cooling solution here. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the Alienware Aurora R16 here for 2023? I like the CPU and GPU performance, and I like the move here to that 14th Gen Raptor Lake processor, the Core i9-14900KF. Very good single and multi-core performance, very good gaming performance. Everything you'd want in a gaming rig is here. It's lighter, an improved design. It's 40% lighter, in fact, and I like what they did there. Whisper quiet pretty much for the most time. Excellent port selection, easy maintenance, decent pricing for the pre-built market, and it has certainly lots of ports on the front and the back. Negatives, you're looking at proprietary motherboard, a proprietary power supply. Some may not like that. Chassis design may be too toned down for some, but I like what they did here. I think it's more understated, a little bit more classy looking, and it's small enough to fit on your desk. There's a lot to like here, ladies and gentlemen. A nice improvement in terms of design, great performance here, and I highly recommend the Alienware Aurora R16 here for 2023.
So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and that platform formerly known as Twitter. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.